Jason, Clear Creek Farm here. I've been asked quite a few times, what do we use for feeding hay to our goats? So that's what we'll be answering tonight. And I have one I need to make. So let's get to it. So what I use is an industrial racking. A lot of companies carry them. You can get them used sometimes from like Home Depot, Lowe's, different places that has industrial racking, especially if they're OSHA regulated. Because once these racks get any type of damage, they have to be thrown away. So you can go to some of your local factories, stuff like that uses these kind of rackings, and ask them when they go to throw them away if you can get them. You should be able to pick them up pretty easily. Or you can look up online for some local companies that sell racking. They usually get these returned back to them because they lease the racks out to major companies, and when they're done or if they're damaged, they get put in a pile. That's where I picked up 2 whole skids of these for like 60 bucks. So that's something that's a option. These are about 2 inches wide by 3 inches long. They work great for goats. Everybody asks, can you use cattle panels? Cattle panels have too big of holes. The goat panels that are the little 4x4 squares or 3.5 by 3.5, they're still a little on the big side. So I found out this stuff works the best because it has the perfect size hole. The goats can't get their nose through it, so they can't get as big a bite when they go to grab that hay. So if they got to work for it, they're only going to pull out what they want to eat. They don't end up wasting as much. So I'm going to get to building one for this young goat pen over here that we just made, so they can go outside. We're going to hold them over here in this pen here for a little bit longer. So we need to go to a little bit different feeding hay feeder than what we've been using. So on this pen here, I don't need a full-size whole length feeder. So I'm going to take and bust these supports off of here, and I'm going to cut this down to make it fit into what I need. As you can see, some of them come off pretty easy, some of them all come off hard. So now I got a clean piece, no bracing on there. Now I'll cut this down to make it fit for what I'm using it for. So what I like about using these type of gratings, you can make them to whatever size you need. I usually, for a small pen, I like them about the size of 1 flake of hay or 2 flakes of hay. These girls that are in this pen are young, and they use about 2 flakes every day during the daytime. So I like to keep that in front of them. I'm not 100% for sure if I'll have enough room here to put a full one. I should. It's about 4 foot of space here. So let's measure this up. If it is, we'll cut her in half, and then I'll just attach it to the wall. these gratings are actually 52 inches. So just a little bit over 4 foot. I should be all right to do this at 52 inches. So we'll just end up cutting this down here so it's almost cut in half, or just a little shy of half. So we'll come down here to the 4th one. 1, 2, 3, 4 with that little bit on the top, and we'll cut that straight off. So I got my battery operated DeWalt grinder. Love this thing. One of the best investments that I did this spring. So we're going to come down here to the 4th one here. We'll cut this off even so we have this bar here to hold it, to attach to. We'll have one space here. That'll leave us 4 spaces on the other side if I ever need to make another grate. Which around here I'll have to make some more grates, some more hay feeders. So we make them all the time. We use them all the time. These are what we use in all our pens, our big pens. Our kidding pens, we use a smaller bucket style. And I'll make another video on that and how we do our bucket style hay feeders. So now we got that cut off to the size that we need. We'll take and attach it to the wall. Usually I use 2x4s. If I have some brackets, I'll use them. I just kind of use whatever I have laying around the house here. I don't know if anybody's ever used these diamond cut hard style blades, but if you haven't, these things are a good investment. They cost a little bit more than what your regular blades would cost, but they last forever. I've had this for probably 6 months or so, this blade, and I have not had to replace it. And I've used it for a lot of things, and I've cut off a lot of things, from bolts to cut and angle iron and stuff like that. So when you're in a Home Depot or Lowe's or even your local farm store, check out these diamond cut blades. I don't know what kind this one is exactly. I got it from Home Depot. It has a little rough edge on the end, and they're a solid metal. So give them a try. So I attached these little blocks here to the wall. They're like a 4x4, and they're about 4x4 inches wide. They've got them on both ends here. I'm going to use these little flat brackets to attach them to these boards. I like leaving a little bit of gap in the back, so that way the chaff from the hay falls out the back, so you're not getting a bunch of leftover in there that the goats ain't going to eat. So set that up there like that, and we'll hook these to the wall. We use a lot of 1/2-inch plywood for all our kidding pens, and this is basically a creep pen that we use for our young goats. Now we made it so it's a creep pen with the outside area for them. So we'll attach this other side here, then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the top. So now that'll move out. We'll take and I got a piece of 2x6, and we'll take and bring this out a little bit, and we'll cut angles on the end of the 2x6, and then we'll attach it that way for the upright to hold it out away from the wall, and then we'll just slide our hay down in the backside. So we'll bring that out probably 6-8 inches or so, maybe 10 inches. Mark the board, we'll cut that off, and we'll make 2 of them that same angle there, and then we'll take and put them in here to hold this out. It's pretty darn close to the same angle. Don't have to be perfect. So I'll just take and flip that over so I don't have to recut the angle, and we'll just cut this back off flat. Now we got our two boards here. We'll take and one will go on this end here, right here, and then we'll put one down on the other end. So I got some more flat brackets here, and that's what we'll use to attach these to these 2x6s. There we go. It's all attached now. It's not going to come off the wall. They're not going to be able to grab too much hay. So I went and grabbed some hay here to put in here. So this almost fits 2 complete full flakes of hay, which is plenty for these young girls for the day. They can't get in here too far. They can't waste a bunch, so you're not throwing a bunch out when you clean your pens. So if you like this video, share this video. Hope this was informational on some good ways to build some hay feeders. I will take and see if I can find these grates online. They'll probably be something new. To give you an idea what they are so you can look for them. I'll leave that down into the notes or the description. So, like I said, see you on the next video.